ticket, run away by myself for a minute. I don't have any limits. Ooh, ooh. I'm looking for a place where I can feel alive, where I can let you go and just be for a while. I got you on my mind all the time. Know I'm about. Ooh, ooh. I hope I meet somebody who's better than you, that likes me for the things that I say and I do. Somebody who can help me make it through. Now I'm about. Ooh, ooh. Play ticket. You move me to the rhythm.
Hey loves, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Kelly and I upload once a week with the intentions of going back to twice a week. That is a mouthful of an intro. But anyways, I have the entire family in the car here with me today, besides the two older dogs, because that would be one heck of a trip. But anyways, we just got back from Home Depot and Menards because today's video is going to be a get it all done with me video with some DIY projects, because we're going to be having Jaden's birthday next week with lots of guests coming over, and I really just want to get the house ready. And currently we don't even have anywhere for anybody to sit. So the first step, I wanted to get the table DIY done, but we were running into a lot of issues with the table DIY. So we decided to scrap that plan for at least right now, and we're going to be doing a DIY table extension on the island, which I'm super excited for, just so we can accommodate a lot of guests without taking up a ton of space. We're also going to be going into the living room and refreshing the wall decor in there, so taking down all the wall decor in the living room, putting up some new fresh decor. I'm so excited. It's going to look so good. It's just so nice to refresh a space after it's been the same for, you know, like 10 plus years. And also have lots of cleaning to do today, laundry, lots of dishes, of course. I also have some really healthy, yummy, high protein after school snacks ideas to share for you. And along with the snack idea, I also have a high protein, yummy dinner idea for you as well. And also really just trying to keep in mind that I'm still recovering from being sick for the last 3 days. So just also trying to keep it easy on myself, but also really just trying to be productive today. So I truly hope that you enjoyed today's video and you get tons of motivation from it. Be sure to click the thumbs up button, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's jump it right into today's video. We have the to-do list printed out just because I was thinking, like, I have a lot of like random things that I need to get to today. So this is just gonna help me keep my mind straight and make sure that I'm not just wandering around all over the place. But now that I'm thinking about it, I'm not gonna be able to focus with all of this crap all over the countertops. So I think I'm just gonna move all this stuff to the side for right now. Again, I've been really sick the last couple days. I know, just really got smacked with like the beginning of the year, like school sicknesses. I know first Jaden got sick. He was sick for a couple of days. And I know when I went to pick him up in the nurse's office, there were like 10 kids in the nurse's office that needed to go home and weren't feeling very well. And then I started to not feel good. Thankfully, Tyler has been okay. And so he's been kind of helping out around the house. But now I just feel like today is gonna be a lot of catching up. Also without overdoing it, because I feel like I do that a lot. Like I start to feel better and then I feel like I have a whole bunch of stuff I need to catch up on, and then I get it all done in one day and then I just feel sick again the next day. So trying to get as much done as I can without overdoing it. But okay, so before I get started on my to-do list, without getting too distracted. What? Anyway, before I get too distracted, I did want to share with you, because since I haven't been feeling good the last couple days, I wanted to, seriously guys, this is my house all the time. What is it, baby? Huh? What is it? What's wrong? Can I share this with them really quick? Anyway, since I haven't been feeling well, I just treated myself to a new candle. Oh my gosh. Anyway, like I was saying, which honestly really isn't that important, but since I haven't been feeling well, I treated myself to a candle. Guys, this is the first time I've ever walked into Bath & Body Works, smelled the first candle, and just walked out with it. Like, I genuinely love, both Jade and I genuinely love like going around the entire store and like smelling all of the different candles, but he was at school, so I had to do the shopping without him. But I mean, seriously, I just, as soon as I smelled this, okay, so it has notes of maple syrup, golden waffles, pumpkin spice, and brown sugar. I could describe this candle it would definitely be like, just think of all of like the cozy, sweet, like baking scents. That's what this candle is. It is the pumpkin pecan waffles, and also just look at how gorgeous the packaging is. It's always a plus when you can find a candle that not only smells really, really good, but is also really, really cute for the season too. So definitely gonna be having this lit while I get my to-do list done today. I keep smelling it. I don't know why, but it's gonna be the perfect candle to have on while I tackle everything that I need to get done. And so immediately lighting my new Bath & Body Works candles so my house will smell amazing before I even start cleaning, and just setting my intentions for the day by listing out the things that I need to get done on this adorable to-do list, which by the way is free to print down in the description box. I actually have a lot of free printables and daily planners for you to check out. I know they really help keep me focused, especially on days like today where I need to catch up on things like cleaning and laundry and decorating for Jane's 13th birthday and just getting the house ready for all of that, as well as redoing the family room, and then decor shopping and meal prepping. To-do lists and daily planners are just so helpful to me and just how my brain works. And I hope you find them helpful too and get tons of motivation from today's video to tackle whatever is on your to-do list today. We are going to jump right into the very long to-do list that I have today, but before we really get into it with like cleaning up the kitchen and then starting the island table extension, I also brought down all of the new wall decor for the family room that I'm so excited to finally share with you. I honestly feel like I brought it down just to give myself some extra motivation, just to get everything like cleaned up, because I feel like that's what I'm really excited to do today. Just as a before and after, I always think that that's really, really fun. But here is the old wall decor. And then here is the new wall decor that will be hanging up in today's video. This gorgeous painting I got from At Home. Just love like the wood border on it, and not only like just the scenery, but all of the colors on it and like the gold specks in it as well. I just think it'll go really, really well with basically all of my seasonal decor. Maybe besides Christmas, but I do something else with my wall decor during Christmas anyways. And then I got this oversized clock, which I absolutely love, from Hobby Lobby. It was originally priced at $60, but I got it for half off. So it was definitely a steal because I've always wanted an oversized clock. And then these which are in a box, I got it just from Amazon, but they're floating shelves. I know they're not out of the box, but they are oak colored. So excuse the mess in my living room, but they're basically going to be the same color as the table. At least that's what I'm hoping. But I just think it's gonna be so nice to refresh the living room, especially right before we have a ton of guests over for Jaden's birthday, and just really like brighten up this space and, you know, just make it a little different. Like this wall has been the same, let me tell you, for a very long time, probably around the time that farm decor was really like starting to become a thing. So yeah, just like a really long time. Honestly, don't get me wrong though, I still love farm decor. It's just time to really brighten it up in here, and I feel like this painting will be a lot more brighter than, let's say, this one. Turning my attention back to the to-do list and getting started on the first three things, which are cleaning the kitchen, dishes, and laundry. So just gathering up all the laundry in both of the closets right now. If laundry is ever on the to-do list, I always like to start there. Number one, because I usually have a lot of it. Number two, because I can also have the washer and dryer going while I tackle other things around the house. So it kind of makes me feel like I'm multitasking. But anyway, if you have laundry that needs to get done too, then let's go ahead and throw a load in together.
Nothing's gonna save us from our doubts. Nothing's gonna make us spell it out. I don't wanna be the one to say, oh, I told you so. And even if the sky was falling down, you never noticed anyone around. I don't wanna be the one to say, oh, I told you so.
And so now that I have a start on laundry, I'm moving right along to the next part of the to-do list, which is resetting the kitchen and tackling all the dishes and basically just getting caught back up from being out for 3 days, starting with clearing off all of the countertops. And while I wish I could truly say that this mess was an accumulation over the last 3 days, it's really, well, some of it's from last night, but most of it is from this morning, just really trying to hone in on a solid morning routine with, back to school. And I don't know, maybe I'll make a back to school fall morning routine really soon because Lord knows that we need one. But by the way, this Bath and Body Works candle made the entire downstairs smell so warm and cozy. It was just so nice to reset the kitchen with. If you could pick just one candle this fall from Bath and Body Works, I would say definitely the pumpkin pecan waffles. I feel like any fall scent, you can't really go wrong, but this one definitely checked all of the boxes for me.
Inside your walls, 5 feet underground now. Nothing's gonna save us from
And so, of course, we are doing a ton of dishes because as a busy mom, both dishes and laundry are just a daily task around here, which I'm grateful for. If you are new here, my mindset, and of course, keep in mind, we're allowed to have times when we're like, oh my gosh, I'm tired of everything, because I'm a human being and I definitely feel like that sometimes. But when you have a grateful mindset, it just makes everything in life better because it's genuinely all about perspective. So blessed am I that I get to, one, have a home with a dishwasher and also a washer and a dryer, that also I have a family and loved ones that I get to do dishes for and wash clothes for, all of those things. When you are doing housework, I genuinely feel like it just helps so much when you have an attitude of gratitude, like not even trying to rhyme, but just genuinely when you think about how blessed you are to be doing what you are doing in the moment. And it just, I don't know, it just makes it go by faster and makes me personally really enjoy homemaking and feel like it's an honor to be able to do these things for my family.
but I told you so.
And now after getting the dishwasher started with all the dishes in the sink, just giving the sink a good scrub before wiping down all of the countertops and appliances. And so don't get me wrong, because I 1000% love my new sink. However, every time that I scrub out like the new sink, I make sure to also scrub out the built-in produce strainer and the cutting board as well, because I do use it, and sometimes multiple times a day, just to make sure that everything stays clean. And so I don't know. Anyway, it just feels like it takes me a bit longer scrubbing out the sink now, but just love how sleek it looks when, number one, the sink is empty and clean and the stainless steel is nice and shiny, and also just love the convenience of being able to do all of my meal prepping, like, like all of the washing and the chopping done right over the sink where it can just be easily cleaned up instead of like all over my countertop. I don't know. I just feel like if you're kind of like me and do some sort of food prep daily in your kitchen, this sink, in my opinion at least, is totally worth it. But now moving on to giving all of the countertops and appliances a good wipe down. And today I'm using the Acorn Spice Scented Multi-Surface Cleaner by Mrs. Myers. Not a sponsor, by the way, still waiting for a reply, but their Acorn Spice is definitely my favorite, like spicier fall scent, and matched so well with the Pumpkin Pecan Waffles Bath and Body Works candle. I don't know about you, but fall is definitely my favorite scent.
Sweet and you care about my night, but I'm sobering up in this moment's past. Oh yeah, I don't wanna be tucked in someone else's arms, 'cause my heart just broke and I need my time. Wanna speak so loud even though I hide, like I'm hypnotized, can't get out of here.
And so finally, the last bit of cleaning that I wanted to tackle in the kitchen before moving on to, well, first switching over the laundry, but then working on the temporary island extension for Jaden's birthday party is to wipe down the sliding glass door that leads out to the backyard, which I feel like a pet peeve of mine is when this sliding glass door is like really dusty and grimy. It has a bunch of fingerprints and nose prints on it, which having 3 dogs and I feel like kids just constantly running in and out of this back door, I feel like it just constantly needs a good wipe down. But now switching over the laundry with Jax's help, of course, so that we can have another load of laundry going while we move on to extending the island for Jaden's birthday party, which leads me on to the DIY table makeover. I know a few of you have been asking about in the comments the last couple weeks. The last thing that we were able to do on the table makeover was we were getting all of the paint stripped off the table and sanding it and just getting it ready to be stained. And then I kind of took a break from YouTube and it sat for a month and we just kind of noticed some structural damage to it. I think maybe just because it's just an old table and after stripping the paint from it, I don't know. I just feel like it's done a lot of damage. We're absolutely going to try to salvage the table just because we do really love it, but we just need a little bit more time with it, which then leads us into the island extension. And honestly, it's been fine as a family of 3. And with the weather being nice, just not having a table, we've just been eating outside instead. But with lots of guests coming over for Jaden's birthday, this is just kind of the solution we were able to come up with. Yes, we totally could have just bought a new table, but we've really liked and honestly have gotten used to the space that the table has freed up and just not having it there. And also, you only live once, so why not play around with different options? And so right now, I'm just working on the island extension that Tyler was building while I was resetting the kitchen and doing the laundry. And I'm just making it completely smooth by using a sander. And I'm just gradually switching the sandpaper out for a higher grit before staining it the color that I want. And so right now what I'm doing is just adding the final coat. I think this is the second coat of stain, which is a gorgeous coat of classic gray to the island extension, which, by the way, if you're curious, this is the same color stain as our current island. But anyways, just switching to 1000 grit sandpaper and finishing up the countertop with a wet sand before sealing it in with polyurethane. After which Tyler was ready to attach it to the island. I also ordered for this island some new bar stools from Amazon so that everyone can just sit around the island. And I have no clue what happened to the footage of Tyler actually attaching the extension to the island went, but it took a few days for the bar stools to come in anyway. So fast forward, and here is a look at the new island / eating area, which, full disclosure, I'm honestly thinking about just throwing some cabinets under the extension and just making this permanent, but we'll see. But now we are setting the oven to 350 because next on the to-do list is prepping some high protein cookies for dessert tonight and also to have some left over as an after school snack for Jaden. And I don't know about you, but the further that we get into fall and like the winter season, the more that I'm craving like all of the cookies and the cakes and the pies. So lately I've been really just trying to play around with different recipes to kind of satisfy those cravings that just have healthier and cleaner ingredients instead of, having all of those processed sugars. Like for this cookie recipe, all that I used was, and also exact measurements will be in the description box for you, but I used some bananas, organic peanut butter, protein powder. I personally like to use Jocko's banana cream or vanilla protein powder, but you can use your preferred protein powder. And then just really mix around the protein powder, the peanut butter, and the mashed banana until it made kind of like a cookie dough consistency. And then I got my baking sheet as well as some parchment paper. I really love using an ice cream scoop for this just to make sure that I'm putting out even portions, because I do really like to count my macros. So this kind of helps me keep track of that, but just evenly scooping out each portion. And so the measurements that I use, which is also what I have listed in the description box, I was able to make 6 cookies with this batch. So if you're wanting to make 12, I would definitely double the measurements that I have in the description box for you. But I also topped it with some mini chocolate chips, as well as a drizzle of sea salt. And then I just put it in the oven at 350 for about 12 to 14 minutes. And then while these bake and make the house smell even more amazing, before moving on to tackling the family room and refreshing the wall decor in there, we had a ton of debris on the kitchen floor, just from like extending the countertop, and honestly just from having 3 dogs, one of which is a puppy and potty training, and 3 people in this house. The floors in the kitchen needed a good vac mop. So just doing that now before moving into the family room. And of course, while I'm doing this, Jack's attacks, which if you've watched my last video or 2, you'll know that this is just the new norm for us.
Are you missing it just like I do? Are you worried about me too? 'Cause I'm thinking aloud, I'm wondering about you, eh?
And so now finally moving into the family room, and before swapping out the old wall decor with the new wall decor, I also wanted to give this space a good reset too, starting with shoving a million dog toys into a tiny bin because we are obsessed with buying dog toys and need to declutter. Also, thanks to a certain sock thief, we had about 13 socks scattered around the family room. So just getting those picked up and returned to the laundry room, and then finally clearing off all of the throws and pillows from the couch and using the bristle brush attachment to suck up all of the crumbs and dog hair that's embedded in the couch, as well as vacuuming the rug too, because I love seeing those fresh vacuum lines. I know in the near future, I also really would love to get either a new couch or maybe just some like really nice slip covers for the couch, as well as one of those like washable area rugs for the living room too. I just feel like we spend a lot of time in here, and with having 3 dogs, one of which is a puppy that can also have accidents, and then movie nights and sleepovers, I would just really love anything that would just help make cleaning this space easier. So I don't know, maybe we'll look into some like new things for the family room after the holidays, but right now just really excited to at least finally freshen up the wall decor in here. by the way, this is how the protein cookies came out. So easy and delicious, and crazy to think that it's just 3 simple ingredients, just banana and peanut butter and protein powder, which by the way gives 13 grams of protein per cookie. And protein is just so great for things like muscle growth and helping you feel full for longer. But now saying goodbye to the very old wall decor, which by the way, some of them were kind of stuck to the wall, and then taking down this spooky forest canvas and replacing it with this new gorgeous canvas that I'm just obsessed with. Tell me if I'm crazy, but I've always loved those gorgeous like forest sceneries and just the more natural elements in general. And then with Tyler's help, of course, because the last thing that I want is for someone to get hit in the head with some wall decor, we are using some anchors to like hang up the oversized clock from Hobby Lobby, as well as hanging up the new floating shelves from Amazon, which I'll definitely have listed in the description box for you because they, one, look amazing, and they were also just so easy to hang up on the wall. At least that's what Tyler said. And then once we have the shelves and clock exactly where we want them, the last thing is adding a few decor pieces to the shelves. I feel like I'm a really visual person, so just really wanted to see everything in place before I started decorating it. And I will say, as an avid seasonal decorator, I am most excited to have this new space in the living room to decorate for every season.
What a wasted time. Should have been here on the outside, read the sign.
So I have the new wall decor hung up, which I love just how instantly, like it just made the entire room look so much brighter. But now I need to get these shelves decorated. And I realized like I do a lot of decorating on my channel, but I've never like actually shown you how I plan decorating like each space in my home. And I figure right now would be a really helpful time to share that, since right now I feel like we go through a lot of seasons, you know, with it going from fall to Halloween and then to Thanksgiving and then to Christmas. It's really nice to have like a system down to where you can just clearly see like what decorations you need so that you're not buying decorations, you know, unnecessarily that you don't need. So the way that I plan my decorations is I just use all from my iPhone. I just take a picture of the space that I want to decorate. Let me take a closer picture. Okay, so here's the picture of the space that I'm wanting to decorate. So I just go up here to my marking tools and I kind of just like plan what I want to put and draw what I want. So I was thinking like here, maybe I could do some like fall florals, excuse my artwork. And then maybe next to that, I can have maybe like some candles. It's a candle. Gosh. And then maybe next to that, I can do like some picture frames. And so I know that doesn't look like a whole lot, but then I could just take this picture to the store and just think, okay, so I need to find 2 florals, I need to find 2 candles, and then 2 picture frames. And then actually maybe I'll also do like some garland going through here, like just like some fall floral garland to like line the shelf. So I know it's not pretty, but this is just kind of like my guide. So so I can make sure that when I go to the store, I'm only buying the decorations that I actually need for that space. And now heading into TJ Maxx with what appears to be a 3-year-old's drawing of the decorations that they want in hand. But first, checking out all of TJ Maxx's adorable Halloween decorations. I know it's a little early, but it's really hard for me to not get excited for spooky season. I know Tyler, Jade, and I are just so excited to watch all the spooky movies and go to all of like the haunted houses and trails. Let me know in the comments if you are ready for it too. But like one thing that I found at TJ Maxx that definitely had to go in the basket was this adorable candle of a ghost walking its ghost dog. But Anyway, trying for not to get too distracted and moving back into their fall decor section, I feel like they were pretty cleared out, or I don't know, at least for the specific things that I was looking for, but luckily they still had lots of gorgeous florals to choose from. Honestly, fall colors are my favorite colors, and I probably could have been here all day, but I still had tons to get done that day. So settled on the two florals that I loved the most, and then moved right along to Michael's, which apologies for the weird angled shot of the sign, but now I'm on the hunt for just fall candles, garland, and photo frames. And Michael's had just what I needed for 50% off, by the way. I will say, I think I was most impressed with their fall candle selection and their candle holders, which is what I'm playing around with right now. But they also had a beautiful selection of garland to choose from. And so just between TJ Maxx, Michael's, and actually planning the decorations that I needed, this was a really easy and stress-free decor run. I spent under $50 and just love every single piece that I got.
I know I got some trouble getting over you. I think that I've played my part. I need to get away somewhere far from you. I'ma buy plane ticket. Run away by myself for a minute. I don't have any limits. Ooh. I'm looking for a place where I can feel alive, where I can let you go and just be for a while. I got you on my mind. I hope I met somebody who's better than you, that likes me for the things that I say and I do. Somebody who can help me make it through. Now I'm about plane ticket, plane ticket, plane ticket. You said that I was not enough. You said you could do better than wasting time on me, and I admit it felt so tough. But baby, I guess this is how it's meant to be. I'ma buy plane ticket. Run away to LA for a minute. There will be no limits. Ooh. I'm looking for a place where I can feel alive, where I can let you go and just be for a while. I got you on my mind all the time. No, I'm about.
So at this point, really starting to make a ton of progress on the to-do list and really loving how everything is coming out. But now I'm just taking a few minutes to do some simple birthday decorations for my son's 13th birthday this day. It blows my mind to think that he's a teenager now. But even though we're in Cincinnati, who day, by the way, Jaden likes to root for the Cowboys, which they just so happen to be playing on his birthday. So I thought it would be fun to decorate in some cowboy colors for when we watch the game later on that night. And then we'll do like more like bigger decorations for like his actual birthday party, which honestly, I might have to end up doing another Get It All Done With Me next week. Because guys, I seriously just have a lot to get done over these next couple weeks. So stay tuned.
I'm looking for a place where I can feel alive, where I can let you go and just be for a while. I got you on my mind all the time. No, I'm about. I hope I met somebody who's better than you, that likes me for the things that I say and I do. Somebody who can help me make it through. Now I'm about plane ticket, plane ticket.
And now, this point in the evening, I had about an hour before getting started on dinner, which I have a really healthy and delicious high protein, low carb Philly cheesesteak wrap. It was actually my first time trying this recipe, and now it's 1,000% on our weekly dinner rotation. So definitely stick around for that one. But anyway, now folding all of the laundry we had done so far, I am the first person to admit that I am the worst at just sitting down and folding all of the laundry. Like, I just really like to just let all of the clean laundry pile up in the basket. And Also avoid pairing and folding all the socks until I have like 57 pairs of clean socks in the basket. But anyway, again, when I'm doing tasks like this that I don't necessarily love, I just switch my mindset to an attitude of gratitude and being grateful for my family and having all of these clean clothes to care for, as they will be keeping us warm through the winter months. I also recommend, like right now I'm watching a show or just lighting a candle or listening to music, whatever will make the task feel more enjoyable for you, do that.
Like you wanted to, like you wanted to, like 24/7, like 24/24 heaven.
And now moving on to dinner. So this Philly cheesesteak recipe calls for beef shaved steak, light string cheese. The light is key, as well as low carb tortillas, green chilies, and a package of low sodium brown gravy mix. And I started out with browning the shaved steak in a skillet, which by the way cooks really, really fast since it's thin sliced beef, making the prep time super fast on this recipe. I also added a can of green chilies as well as a sprinkle of sea salt to the skillet. And then when everything is finally cooked through, you can throw in your gravy packet and slowly add water until you have this kind of thick, saucy gravy consistency. And also right now I'm showing you the beautiful freshly stained island because of course Tyler decided to do that right before making dinner. So we have limited countertop space to work with right now, but thank goodness for these extra countertops that we have on the side. And so just laying out the low carb tortillas and then adding a stick of light string cheese and then a layer of the meat mixture. And then just folding them all up as a burrito, of course. And then I just sprayed a layer of avocado oil, which is what I had, but you can use olive oil if you want to as well. And then you can either pan fry these or I air fry them for 8 minutes altogether, but just turning them halfway through. And then I just served it with a side of rice and of course a high protein cookie. Really just such an easy and delicious dinner. 10 out of 10 recommend it. But now since I can't show us eating at the new island since it's freshly stained, oh well, at least it's another gorgeous day to eat outside. And honestly, we probably would have anyways, but I know that the cold weather is definitely coming up soon. So really, really soon then we will have to decide if we want to make the island extension like more permanent with cabinets underneath, or if we can honestly salvage the old table. Or if we can find a new table that we actually love. I don't know, but the decision will be made very soon, so stay tuned. But anyway, now it's getting a bit later in the evening, and usually at some point between having dinner and going to bed, I like to, well, what I call close down the kitchen. So step one is unloading the dishwasher and reloading it with whatever dishes are in the sink so that we don't come downstairs to a smelly sink with rotting food in it. Step two is to scrub out the sink, and I just use my Dawn Power Wash and a scrub brush that I specifically use for my sink because I read somewhere that your kitchen sink can have as many germs and bacteria as your toilet. So I don't know, make sure you scrub your sink every day. And now that the dishes are done and the sink is nice and clean, just moving on to step 3, which is wiping down all of the countertops and the kitchen appliances. This is another really big one for me, and just really helps make the kitchen look so clean and tidy when you come downstairs in the morning, when the countertops are cleared off and wiped down. There's no crumbs, and also the appliances are nice and shiny with no sticky fingerprints. It just makes everything look so nice and clean. And so again, just using my Mrs. Meyer Acorn Spice multi-surface cleaner to wipe everything clean. And now finally, we are moving on to step 4 of my nightly closing shift routine is to empty out the trash bin, mainly so I don't come downstairs to my kitchen smelling like rotten food. I think we've all been there, but also so I can wipe out the inside of my trash bin, which I highly recommend doing every time you switch out the bag because it really helps prevent any of that yucky odor buildup. But anyway, that is all from me today. I truly hope that you got tons of motivation to tackle whatever is on your to-do list today. If you enjoyed today's video, I'd really appreciate you give it some hype. Yes, that is something new on YouTube, located in the comment section. It's totally free, but helps smaller content creators like me get noticed. And of course, like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you all in the next one. Bye, loves.